Lots of thumbs ups are giving us a lot of energy. So, hello everyone. Today, welcome to another session. We have Jacob Shekrel with us now. Hello, Jacob. How are you doing?
Hello, Bindu. How are you? Thank you very much for having me here, and I'm happy and looking forward for this session.
We are also super excited for your session. So, everyone, Jacob Shekrel is a mental strategist and clinical hypnotherapist. Using a method he developed, he helps entrepreneur and senior executive to overcome stress and anxiety, and to strengthen confidence and self-esteem as well. By education, Jacob is a sociologist and anthropologist. He is a life success consultant and the representative of Bob Proctor in Spain. He has 40 years experience in the business world and as the owner and partner in several businesses, and moved from Israel to Spain 20 years ago, So today Jacob will share more with us, and his topic is lacking this one ability prevent the success you desire. Jacob, stage is yours. Please share more about the same.
Thank you, Bindu, and I'm going to start. So good evening, everyone, and let's start. Let's go ahead and we go forward with this lecture. So in this lecture, not only that I'll explain you how to overcome the biggest obstacle to success, I'm going towards the end of this training, I will give you a practical gift that will help you to overcome the difficulties that are holding you back. Now, every person wants to succeed. Even a monk who lives in a cave and meditating all day, he wants to succeed with the goals he set for himself. He even defined for himself a goal to have less than others. Yet, in the Western world, most of the people want to have more than others. Just like the American dream definition, bigger, stronger, faster. Now, this information, which I'm going to share with you in the coming minutes, suits for everyone. But maybe not that monk which I mentioned. And it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or a senior executive with 35 years of experience, or you're just a young man going for his first job interview to achieve his goal dream, his job dream. We all need to know our assets. We know that we need to differentiate ourselves from the others. We need to brand ourselves to be more efficient. We need to establish our authority and to know in which platform to market ourselves or our products. And guess what? In this subject, you have no advantage because your competitors knows it just like you. Now, I want to give you an advantage that your competitors don't know it. And probably you don't know it either. And I'm talking how to avoid this slippery trap that every business person, every entrepreneur and executive are dealing with. I'm talking about stress leading to anxiety, leading to depression. However, in 19 minutes, you will know something that is not taught even in business schools. And most people don't know how to deal with it. Just because that we all have learned how to deal with symptoms, yet while the real solution to every problem is not there. This knowledge will help you to close the gaps between the reality that you're in and the competitive world around us. It will help you to close the gap between your aspiration and the results that you get. And it will make you feel an inner peace within you. That will allow you to create a sustained growth and economic security. Now, the most important thing that you will learn is how to create an inner resilience. Does it sound as a big promise to you? So that is why I'm going to give you a special gift, because this lecture is just a theory. The gift is the way to make the changes. And I am sure that you heard about successful people or know them that manage to generate millions of dollars. And most of them, despite the money they have, they're unhappy. And the reason for that lack of happiness is the lack of inner resilience. The inner resilience is the ultimate weapon that helps people not only to reach to the peak of success they want, but also to live with satisfaction. Now, to reveal that secret to you, I want to take you to a journey, but don't worry. It will be a fast yet deep journey. In the last 5 years, I'm helping, using the method which I developed, I'm helping professionals to release, to overcome the cause of stress and anxiety, to close the gaps in their life, and to reach a situation where they don't need any more medication. That ending medication, they need to do with coordinate that with their doctors. Now, I have 2 questions for you. I have a survey, a small survey, and I'm going to ask Bindu to bring up the first survey. And here in this first survey, in a scale of from 1 to 10, 1 is a very low stress, 10 is a very high stress. In which level would you define your level of stress? Now, this is the survey, so just answer it, please, and let's go ahead. The second survey, Bindu, can you bring it, please? The question is very simple, and the answer is yes or no. Are you using any sedatives or psychiatric medication? And that will be in the second survey. Yes or no? Don't worry, it's anonymous, so no one will see that. In the modern world, we have been taught to live in the instant, that there is no need to solve the problems, but only the symptoms. Do you have a headache? Take the pill and the pain will pass. But you won't solve the problems because tomorrow that headache can return again. Now, stress is one of the biggest secrets in the professional world. Most of the professionals are trying to hide from their colleagues, from the bosses, from the employees, because the stress is affecting their judgment. And they're afraid that people around them might think that they lost their power. Many people think that stress is an integral part of their career. Young workers starting to climb the career ladder, they think that stress is pushing them forward. And I'm familiar with that because at the age of 32, due to stress at work, family, and university, I found myself for 3 days in the hospital. The doctor suspected a heart attack. It wasn't. At the age of 37, between 37 to 38, I went through 4 economic and emotional crises, and I've reached the lowest place in my life. Now, I'm a person that can solve every problem, yet that time I found no way to resolve the crisis that I've been, and I wanted to end my life. After 18 months in what I called the cave, I set out on a journey to where I am today. And by the way, if a person tells himself, I'm strong, it won't happen to me, maybe. But the studies of Harvard Business School show that more than 50% of executives and managers experience stress and anxiety. And those that outwardly, they look the strongest, they're the one who are going through the most difficult crisis because they build the biggest walls to hide behind. In 2014, the Miami Herald published an article. Doctor organizations say that stress is the #1 cause of death, responsible to the most deadly illnesses, heart attacks, strokes, cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, and including suicide as a result of depression. And that should be a good enough reason to know how to overcome stress. So how does it seem, how the signs of stress look like? Feeling insecure at workplace, fatigue, difficulty of sleeping, waking up in the middle of the night, food problems, addictions, nervousness or impatience, general weakness, diseases. And these are the signs that we have. 3 years ago, I worked with a senior executive at corporate America. She suffered from physiological problems, high blood pressure and migraines that lasted a week, and she used medication. She also suffered from mental problems like stress and anxiety that caused depression, and she had to use sedatives. And at night, to escape the difficulty, she would drink alcohol, wine, and took sleeping pills, yet the anxiety woke her up during her sleep. And she was in a constant sleep deprivation. She has lived under stress for several decades, And it's caused her divorce and also affected her children. One of the most powerful triggers that caused her high stress was the fact that she was hiding her condition from her bosses and employees. In life, we have three core areas which really, they relate and affect our situation. And I'm talking about health, relationship, and career. And when there is one area which doesn't function well, immediately it affects all other areas. Now, these three areas are some of the triggers that causing the stress. And I want to ask you, and this we are going to have the third survey now, which I'm going to ask Bindu to bring up. If you've experienced stress situation, to which of the area that it belongs to? And you have here the 5 situations. Now, I worked with her using the method which I developed. And after locating the root of the problem, and I released that through hypnosis, the emotional trauma that happened to her at the age of 7, all the symptoms that appeared in our adulthood changed immediately. And now that senior manager, she's no longer suffer from stress and anxiety. She no longer need medication, and her physical health and mental health are much better. And the wine just remained for pleasure. So everything that was previously perceived as a threatening triggers were no longer a problem. But that exactly, she's not the only one which I helped with. I helped a business consultant from Italy. I worked with entrepreneurs from Israel, from Australia, from the United States. I worked with a young businessman from Qatar who stopped using medications, sedatives, and many others. So let's understand what exactly is stress. The human brain has only one goal: to maintain the physical survival. To do that, the brain is using 2 small organisms in the size of an almond called amygdala. The amygdalas are connected to all parts of the brain and receiving all the information from the 5 senses. In a split of a second, they check the threat and make sure if we need to respond in fight or flight or freeze. And when they notice that there is no physical threat, the situation continues as a stress, which create physiological and mental phenomena like increasing blood pressure, abdominal pain, thoughts and simulation of danger. Meaning, stress is emotional distress which perceived as a threat to our existence, and it's affect our physiology and mentality, and it's triggered as external triggers. Yet many blame others, people, or situations that causing their stress. But as I said, it's not like that. People and situations are just triggers, and those triggers evoke the memories and the interpretation, our interpretation on this emotion hurt or the trauma from our childhood, and we react in stress. The triggers we always will appear in our life, yet the minute that we solve the root cause, the trigger won't affect us. During childhood and adolescence, 99% from the kids experiencing 1 or more from 3 type of abuses: the physical abuse, verbal or mental abuse, and the sexual abuse. And that's true to men and women. Those trauma hurt our self-image. They causing lack of self-confidence and lack of self-esteem, lack of self-love, the feeling that I don't deserve, shyness, fear, the impostor syndrome. Now, when people are getting older, several things happen. The first one, it's because they become a free control. And that's because that the fear that they will once again will be harmed, so they need to control. The second effect is that the hurt feeling in childhood causes a low self-esteem, and they hide it behind the walls and present to the world the character that they wish to have. The third phenomena, that adults try to forget and bury the old memories from childhood, hoping that it will free them from the pain and be able to build the success. But no matter how many decades we try to forget, the hurt feeling continues to ferment within us like a volcano. And every time that we encounter triggers, those old hurt feelings erupt like volcanic lava. Using my method, I locate the hidden traumas, neutralizes them from the emotional system, so the external triggers do not affect. And from this stage, it is possible to rebuild the self-confidence and self-esteem. This way, people do not need the words anymore. So let's make a quick summary. Stress is a reaction of a hurt emotional system. When we solve the root causes, we can prevent stress, anxiety, and illnesses. And there is a quick and effective way to get rid of the stress. This way, we can rebuild our inner resilience. And the gift, which I will give you soon, will help you to do just that. And here's what your competitors do not know. They confident that they will deal with the stress using the external temporary solutions, just like medication, yoga, meditation, breathing techniques, all that nice, and they can help you to relax. Yet, but in the moment of truth, when the trigger appears in our life, these way are not ineffective, and the stress just explodes in their faces. Now, you know the effective and the correct way, and let them continue look for the temporary solution out there. And after thinking about how I can help you practically, not only with the theoretical knowledge, I decided not to leave you with empty-handed and help you, each one of you, to take the first step, to release the hurt, the inner emotions, the inner feelings which are causing stress. And I've made a special gift for you. It's a 25 minutes audio file called The Mind Game Changer. And my recommendation is that you listen to it at least once a day for several weeks. And the audio will help you to overcome the stressors and the anxieties, to strengthen your self-confidence and self-esteem, and to change restrictive paradigms. Now, I'm going to ask Bindu to bring up the link so you can know exactly which one. Where is the link for the stress? Okay, there's the link. Copy it now from the chat, because in a few minutes it's going to disappear. And in the next few minutes after registration, you're going to receive an email with a link inside, with the link for the gift inside it. You're going to find out also the instruction how to use the audio. And now, if someone is dealing with stress and wants to make a meaningful process, I invite you to contact me. Thank you. This is Jacob Shekrel.
Thank you, Jacob. Yes, we are here running short of time, but there are some interesting questions as well as. So first of all, from everyone here, thanks a lot, Jacob. It's quite like amazing to have this session, and it's a I feel, even I myself feel like it's important to discuss about that. So I would love to show this theory on stage. I have many theories, so everyone please connect with him on booth as well as, but on LinkedIn as well as. But here we are here on the stage, the first theory about stress. Alvina is asking, how can we avoid the stress?
We cannot avoid the stress is coming inside us. Okay, so we need to overcome the limiting beliefs, the inner things that hurt our emotions. And so we need to find what is the root cause. It's not enough only to overcome it using the, like giving a pill for a headache. Okay, it's not using just the outing. Okay.
Yeah.
How to find the soul in inner peace and not to let outer triggers lose the balance. That's a good questions. I would love to, Asel, I would love to answer all these questions. We don't have enough time here to answer that. So if you want, you're welcome to contact me and I will be happy to answer this question if you want. I mean, how do I prevent the situation from getting too stressful to manage? That's exactly the same question, Alvina. You're welcome to contact me because I think that Bindu is going to take the call immediately. Alvina, feel free to contact me. You're most welcome.
Yes, Alvina, and yes, sure. Yes, Jacob, thanks a lot for this amazing talk. And yes, everyone, please connect with him. And thank you everyone for being in this session. We are already running out of time, so I need to take Jacob from here today. But yes, feel free to connect with him on LinkedIn and many other platforms he is active. So yes, thank you, Jacob. Thanks again for being with us. Thank you. Bye-bye for the day.
Bye-bye.